got home from work, so you have a seat. You sure? Otherwise I have diet, regular, whatever you need. Okay.
Thank you.
Obviously, I appreciate you coming over. You're obviously not in trouble or anything. The door's unlocked.
Oh, I know, I didn't do anything.
Right. I just wanted to speak with you about an ex-boyfriend that you had by the name of Doug. So, are you aware of what kind of investigation we have? Can you tell me about it?
Well, word on the street is that the body found right over here is his girlfriend, child's mother.
Okay.
Whatever.
And that's pretty much what I want to talk to you about. I understand that you kind of had a tumultuous relationship with him. Do you have an ID that I can take a look at? So I'm not asking a whole bunch of questions, I can just write off of them.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How did you get my name?
I got your name because we do a thorough investigation
And you
about
got
anybody and
arrested at my
everybody. Yep, I saw that there was an incident between the two of you. Yep.
Okay. Because I know he didn't get, I don't think he got any charges out of that ever.
Okay, did they explain to you why or anything
I
like
think
that?
they sent me a letter, but.
Say that again?
I think they sent me a letter.
Okay, do you remember what that letter said?
No, just that charges were dropped and.
Got it. Do you remember what year that was?
Let's see. Maybe 2011, 2012?
Okay. And are you upper or lower?
Lower, and I own a house.
Okay. Just so you know, does anybody live upper or?
Yes.
Okay. I put a card on all four
okay.
doors because
Okay.
I didn't know which one you were, so you want
That's
to take
fine.
it off, that's fine. Or, so you're lower and owner. Upstairs people just rent from you?
Yes.
And what was the number for you?
920-412-6499.
54301?
Yep.
Okay. So, Doug, what's his last name?
Detrie?
Do you know how to spell that?
D-E-T-R-I-E.
Okay. And when you said word on the street, what does that all entail? Is that friends, family?
People contacting me, have you seen Doug?
Okay, so associates of yours?
Yes.
So is that how you found out?
Yeah. Just, I think last night, someone texted me and said, they heard that that was Doug's, I don't know what they are, girlfriend or, I don't think they're married.
Okay.
It was her that
Okay.
they found.
Okay. Do you know if the two of them have children or anything?
They have a child, one child.
Do you know if, do you know her name?
The child or
The
mother?
female, the mother.
Danielle or Nikki or something. I've never met her. I've only seen on his Facebook, like, her name and her picture, but there's not even a lot of her on there either, so that's all I know about her. Not very much.
Okay, so you never met her, and you found out from people calling you saying, hey, have you heard about a body that was found near the sheriff's office?
And his family's looking for it, because I heard Doug was missing with his kid, and his family was calling friends of mine who called me.
And when was Doug supposed to be missing?
They said no one could find him last night? What was that, Sunday night? Yeah, Sunday night.
Until present, or
I heard he was taken away from his house this morning,
by who?
the police.
Okay. Did you hear why the police would have taken him from his house?
I mean, I assumed he got arrested.
Okay, arrested for what?
Murder, I would assume. That's assumption, though. the events leading up kind of put the puzzle together.
Okay. So let's talk about that. When did you come on board here?
I was probably like 21, so is it 07 maybe? But we didn't start dating till a few years later.
What year do you think?
I was 24 when we started dating. It's hard as you get older to remember what year.
Sure.
You were that age. So we started dating, I think, in 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, end of 2010 is when we started dating.
And when did you guys break up?
Which time? I moved out probably like 2 years after that. About.
You guys lived together in,
At his house.
at his house, and what house is that?
2329 Berkeley, is that right?
Okay.
The one on Berkeley, first one on the left.
On Berkeley, okay.
Yeah, in De Pere.
So when did you live on Berkeley, from what year to what year, you think?
2011 till like 2012, and like beginning of 2011, I moved there in April, I know that, till probably like towards the end of 2012.
Okay, and it was an on and off relationship?
It was just bad, I mean, we fight all the time.
Okay, and so you would have broken up sometime in 2012?
Yeah, and I mean, I was trying to leave him for even longer.
So let's break this up a little bit. From 07 to 10, when you guys weren't together, you guys were friends?
Yeah, and I, see him out, maybe talk to him once in a while, but nothing.
Okay, so was there any issues during this period
No,
of time that
nope.
are of concern?
No, we
Okay.
didn't really know each other then, just kind of
Okay,
friendly.
so then you began to date in 2010, and shortly thereafter you moved into his house on Berkeley. And that continued up to 2012. So can you tell me some of the issues that are of concern that you think that maybe I would be interested in during that period of time?
Do you want a lot of them? All the ones I thought of today?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to keep it chronological, we'll go through them, I'll take notes, and I'll make sure that I get it all right.
I don't know if I have exact like dates, but
That's okay.
in.
Well, we already know that it's a 2-year period.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that
that's-
already narrows it down.
But I can give you examples of what
Sure.
he would do.
Sure.
It was right before I moved in too, actually. We got in a fight, and he tackled me. I broke my ankle.
Hold on a second. And before we get into it, so there was that one call where he was arrested for domestic violence, where
That
I
was
think...
when I already had moved out back into my.
Is that one of the last incidents?
Yes, that was
Okay.
the last incident.
And was there any other police
No,
contacts?
well, yeah, but not with any arrests.
Okay, and what other police agencies?
It would have been probably Brown County, because we were living in that house,
Okay.
and,
So that would be Brown County?
yeah,
Okay,
they were
and
called there,
for domestic violence issues?
yeah.
How many times?
One for sure I remember, but I think just the once the cops actually came. Because my friend called, because she was
Okay.
worried for me, yeah.
Okay, so let's get to this ankle, and then just whenever we get to that incident where the cops were called, just remind me of that. So, right before you moved in, he did what?
We got in a fight,
Okay.
tackled me, and I broke my ankle. So, I mean.
Which ankle did you break?
My left.
Where did he tackle you?
We were in his bedroom. We were fighting, and he came at me.
Did you go to the hospital at all?
I did.
Which hospital did you go to?
I think it's urgent care right over here by, not right over here, but across from Chicago Street over there. Aurora, is it Aurora? I think it's Aurora.
Urgent care where? Across from...
Aurora, or across from like Chicago Street Pub on Chicago Street, G or...
Okay, if you take this Monroe going
All the way
down...
down, yep, and then...
Is it on Monroe to the right there? That one?
It's not on Monroe, it's
Okay.
on GB, it turns into G.
Okay, so take a right on G,
Yep.
and then how far down?
I don't know.
Oh, it's on the right there by the roundabout?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, on the right by the roundabout?
Yep.
Okay, so urgent care, do you remember what it's called? Urgent care Aurora?
I think it's Aurora.
Okay. And what kind of treatment did you get?
They referred me to a specialist, Dr. Sodi, S-O-D-H-I.
S-O-D?
H-I, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had to give me 2 surgeries on my ankle. And then I was in a cast for probably at least 2 months. Maybe 3. You know, I couldn't
And
walk.
what did you tell medical people happened?
I tripped over my dog going down the stairs.
Why did you tell them that?
Because that's what me and Doug decided to tell them.
Okay. And when he tackled you, why did he tackle you?
Because we were fighting.
So what do you remember what you
I have no
guys were
idea. No,
fighting?
I don't.
And what was the purpose of him tackling you?
I don't know, he was probably mad and he got mad.
Okay, so after he tackled you, obviously you were in pain? And
Like extreme pain, like I was like, we had to stop fighting, I had to go to the hospital, yeah.
did he take you?
Yeah.
Okay, but you guys discussed what you would say?
Yeah.
Okay, and the reason why you decided to cover for him?
Well, it's because I loved him and he wouldn't get in trouble and then, everything would be fine.
Okay, is that about it for this particular incident?
Mhm.
Was there anything else physical besides him tackling you? Was there any punching, shoving before that?
No, I mean, never like punching, but definitely shoving a lot and like,
Before he tackled you?
Yeah, and not just that incident, but like, that was regular, I'd say, anytime we fought.
I mean, do you recall during this incident, was there shoving? If you
I
don't
mean, I
recall,
don't.
it's-
I don't.
And that, if
I
you don't
remember
remember something, I
tackling
need
me.
you, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. But basically, the tackle and the injury kind of stopped. Okay,
That's a fight, yeah.
all right. What is another incident that you can recall?
Nothing,
So
Right, you
let's
can say
talk
something.
about, if you can't remember specifically, when you would argue, it would be,
he would spit in my face.
okay,
He would, throw stuff, break stuff, and I would too.
okay, would you ever spit in his face?
I would never spit in his face. I've never,
Okay,
that
so
happened.
I'm just gonna differentiate who did what. So spit stuff would just be him.
Mhm.
And throw stuff, break stuff would
Yeah.
be both of you?
Yeah.
Okay. And what else? Yelling, swearing?
Yeah. Well, and just really, he was really controlling, he was really manipulative,
Would that be just him or both of you for yelling and swearing?
both.
Okay. And then go back to, so then controlling and manipulative, what do you mean by that?
Well, one example, he would, I worked in Appleton at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I would call him when I got done,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would drive home.
Mhm.
And if I was like 5 minutes early, he would say, why are you speeding? You can't get speeding tickets, you're gonna raise your insurance, it's a big deal. Then, but if I was 5 minutes late, well then it was, where did you stop? Who are you talking to? Why are you late? He paid for like everything. He wouldn't let me work.
One second.
Sure, I'll let you catch up. We need all these things today.
Would not let you work, paid for things?
Right, so if, he was mad at me, he would cut my credit card, he wouldn't, he would turn it off, or my phone. If he was mad at me, he would turn my phone off.
Mm-hmm.
Some other examples. He was just really, he paid for my phone, so he would track where I was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be at a restaurant with a girlfriend for lunch, and he would say, why are you there? And I was like, I didn't even tell you I was here. How do you know I'm here? Or I'd be at a friend's house and he'd be like, why are you at their house? Because he knew where it was the whole time. My text messages too, he had them linked. Anybody he didn't want texting me, he would get an email when they did text me and what they text me.
Did you know that at the time?
I knew it because he would call me and ask me why I was where I was.
How about the text message?
Well, the text messaging, he would call me, he would ask, why is this person texting you? Why, why are you still talking to them? All that stuff.
Or if you think of some other things, let me just check on something quick. I'll be right back, okay?
Yep.
And so we were talking about the ankle break, and then we were talking about in general during 2010 to 2012, what kind of issues the two of you were having. And we talked about controlling, if you were either 5 minutes late or early, what he would say, monitoring your phone cards, text messages. We talked about that he would spit in your face, that the both of you would throw and break stuff, that the both of you would yell and swear. You said both of you would push and shove. Anything else?
As far, do you just want me to keep talking?
Mm-hmm. As far as what kind of violence occurred between the two of you in your home?
That's pretty much,
Was there any punching?
No.
There was an incident that was reported to the Green Bay Police Department. There was choking in that particular incident. Was there any other choking besides that particular incident?
That incident was at my house in the upper.
Right.
700 South Irwin, it probably was, or 1280 Cass. There's two addresses.
Gotcha.
He was choking me. He put the sheets from my bed into my mouth, like as much as he could, until I couldn't breathe. So I couldn't scream, I'm assuming.
Okay.
The school across the street called the police because they heard me screaming.
Okay.
I guess any other, particular incidents that were violent? I don't know, but,
Well, you said there was the sheriff's office were called to his house.
Yeah, me and, because when my leg was broken, me and him were fighting, and then, I called my girlfriend.
How soon after the leg break incident?
I still had my cast on, so within, a month or 2 weeks of me June, somewhere in there. I know it was kind of warmer out, so it was probably May, June.
Okay, what happened?
I don't know what happened, but we were fighting, and I told my girlfriend, I'm like, can you come pick me up? I don't want to be here. Oh, and he pulled his car behind my car. That's why I couldn't leave, because he wouldn't let me. So I asked my girlfriend if she could pick me up, and she had been drinking, so she called the police and said, you need to call the police. You can't, if he's doing that to you. And I'm like, I don't care. I just want to get out of here. And then the police came and they said, why don't you move your vehicle? And then he finally did, and then I left in my own vehicle.
Was there any physical that day?
Not that I remember.
Okay.
That doesn't mean there wasn't, though.
Was physical violence something that was ordinary in your house? Or in your relationship?
I mean, it gradually progressed, you know, I think more towards the end. But there was like a really, you know, he broke my ankle right at the beginning, so, it
So,
was uncommon.
So it got worse, did it get more
Yeah.
frequent?
I think so, yeah, but, you know, then I was leaving too, so.
And what caused you guys to break up or for you to leave?
Him, being so controlling and crazy, and I couldn't take it,
Well, did that incident with the police in Green Bay, was that a,
that was after I moved already, so we had already broken up, and he, you know, he still loved me and wanted to get me back and whatever. But then we just started fighting, and then the police came, and then, you know.
so you left him, but he came, apologized to you, and you let him back into your house this time, and then...
Well, I let him, I mean, we were still talking because, you know, we still had stuff together, and we still, whatever. He was still paying for my phone when I moved out. Because I, you know, I had to get back on my feet, so I needed him to pay for my phone. So then, he agreed to, but I think he only agreed to so that he could know where I was. He hired 2 ex-police officers to follow, after we broke up, to follow me around.
How do you know that?
Because, they were ex-police officers that worked at my friend Wendy, her and her boyfriend, they have like a bar that they run, and they hired these same 2 guys to be security for the, you know, bouncers for them.
So do you know their names?
I don't, but I can get them for you.
Sure.
Like, do you want me to get them right now?
Yeah, that'd be great. Are they Green Bay officers or some other officers? Or
I know they're ex.
ex-officers, okay.
Yeah, and they were ex-officers at the time as well.
For which department?
I don't know.
Okay. So who ended up telling you, the officers?
My friend Wendy, who owns the bar, and
And
she's
what-
like, don't tell Doug or anything because...
What bar does she own?
At the time, it was, you know where Family Video is on Main Street? And then the driving school is kind of right next to there, the back.
Okay,
And
yeah.
there's a bar back there.
Okay.
It was that bar.
Okay. That's on Main Street, right?
Yeah. Main and Deckner, kind of. And then,
What's Wendy's last name?
Knight, K-N-I-G-H-T.
N-I-G-H-T?
Yeah.
Do you have her phone number?
Yeah. 920-471-2546.
So she told you that the 2 ex-police officers that she has doing security at her bar,
Doug hired them.
Doug hired them to follow you around. Okay.
And I caught them following me around. It was a stoplight, and they stopped kind of next to me but behind me. And I knew it was them. I'm like, when the light turns green, I'm not going to go. I'm just going to wait for them to go. So I could, well, they didn't go. And then they continued to follow me all the way to my friend's house where I was going.
Do you remember what the fight was about on Cass Street?
No. I know I wanted him to leave, and he wouldn't leave.
Okay, so
So he was probably just being himself and, you know, being mad. Being a jerk.
okay, he wanted him to leave, he refused, and what did that all turn into?
Shoving blankets down my mouth, and I remember the inside of my lip was bleeding. I think my ear was bleeding, I think. I'm sure you can find, he took pictures, the officer did.
He said inside of your mouth was bleeding?
Because he was shoving that blanket in there, and my lip was going on my teeth, and it was that hard that the inside of my lip was bleeding.
And why did you think he was shoving the blanket?
Because he wanted me to scream. Because I was screaming for him to get out.
Okay. Do you think, were you having a hard time breathing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Before that happened, was there shoving back and forth?
I don't know for sure, but I know we were throwing stuff, because I remember his, you know, your bag you travel with that got all your toiletries, your toiletry bag, like a man bag, it was all over the place, so he must have been planning to stay over or something, but he had his toiletry bag there, and I probably threw it and was like, get out, you know, and then he got mad, so he...
Were you screaming
Oh,
for help?
yeah, because he locked me in my room, that's right, he locked me in my room, and I was screaming, let me out, let me out, let me out, and he wouldn't.
When were you screaming for the police?
I don't think I was screaming, I think I was just screaming help, and the school across heard it, that's how loud I was screaming, because he wouldn't let me out of my room.
Okay.
And then, I'm sure this is all documented too, I hope I'm getting it right.
That's okay.
This is what I'm remembering. Yeah, I was just screaming help, because I couldn't get out of my room.
Okay. And he was arrested that night, then you later learned that you got a letter that he wasn't prosecuted. Anything else you can think of during those 2 years that's significant?
There's another time that I was at a friend's house. We broke up. I went out with my friend Brian, and then we were drinking, so we were closer to his house, so we just went back to his house. So we were at his house, and we were like in his room or the living room or whatever, but there was a window right, you know, by us. Well, I don't remember what we were talking about something, and the next day, Doug was messaging me and saying, you know, basically repeating what we had been talking about inside of his house. And I was like, well, how do you know that? So I thought he was like listening on my phone, or, you know, like he had something set up where he could listen to what I was doing all the time. It was winter at that time though, so my friend Brian, whose house I was at, I told him to look on the side of his house, and sure enough, there were tracks outside. So Doug was sitting right outside of my friend Brian's window because I was there, and he found me because he tracked my phone.
He ever confessed to that to you?
Did he confess to that?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I mean, it was fairly obvious, because it was just me and Brian in the house. So how else would he have known? Because it was something really specific that we were, I don't know, it might have been illegal. But,
if you guys were talking about weed or whatever, I don't care, just tell me the truth.
I'm thinking that's what it was. It was just, you know. But Doug knew specifically, like, what we were taking, what we were, you know, and there's no way he could have known that.
What was the nature of conversation about
I
weed?
think we were taking Ambien. I don't remember if I was drunk too. But, I think Brian had some Ambien, and he was like, oh, just take one, whatever. And then, you know, I don't remember if I took it. But then the next day, I remember Doug saying, why are you taking Ambien now? And why are you, you know? And I was like, how do you know that? There's no way you know, you could know that unless you were there. And he was right outside.
Any other instances?
Those are the ones I thought of today.
Okay. Yeah, while we're talking, if you want to send out a message, try to get those officers' names, that would be great.
Rick and Scott. Does that help?
Do you know their last names?
Probably not.
Okay. You getting this from Wendy?
Yeah.
Okay. So that takes us to 2012 plus. Have you continued to maintain contact with him?
Yeah, because he has a ton of stuff in his house that's mine. My bed, my dressers, and, you know, after years of trying to get it back from him, I just, you know, like, it's just stuff. I don't care. I don't want to deal with it anymore. So, there's been a couple times, you know, where, I don't know, it's not like we didn't get along. Like, if we saw each other, or, you know, we'd text once in a while, just, hi, how are you doing? Like, he told me he had a baby, and, which was kind of weird. I don't know why he told me, but, I got over it, you know.
And so, what is the nature of your contact? Just infrequent
I mean,
messages, calls, or what are you saying?
Let's see. Last time I talked to Doug. I think last time I talked to him I was sick and really having kidney stuff. Where does that sound? Oh, I'm telling him not to cheat on his girlfriend because he would try to text me and, hang out, and I knew he had a girlfriend.
How long ago was that?
This part I'm just talking about tickets. He has a bunch of Packer tickets, so I would, ask him about that once in a while. Okay, October 26th, he texted me. I have some stuff of yours I could probably drop off sometime, maybe today. Which I thought was really weird because he's never offered to give me stuff.
Sure.
And he's asked me what I want, and he said, I'll see how my night goes, whatever. Then the next time he texts me, he said, I just had a baby today. Why are you texting me when your girlfriend's pregnant? And you know what I mean? I didn't even know his girlfriend was like pregnant, and then all of a sudden he had a baby.
What is that picture of?
That is some guy. I was asking him if he knew that guy.
Is there anything on there blatantly trying to hook up or anything like that?
Right here. So first he's telling me about his kid, and then he's asking me who I'm sleeping with. And then I probably told him, don't cheat on your girlfriend. I don't remember.
So, you say, I guess I never realized that was a lot to handle, so weird that you have a kid. And your reply is, it's a little shocking, but yeah, he's awesome. Have you been fucking anyone lately? LOL. You replied with a Y. And then he says, just wondering, fucking is on my mind. ATM, ha ha ha, all the time, what is that supposed to mean? ATM.
At the moment.
At the moment, ha ha ha. Don't you have a baby mama? Yeah, duh. Aren't you together? Yes. So fuck her, have a few more kids. Oh, no more, at least for now. Why don't you just fuck her? I do. Don't be a cheater, Doug, I haven't. You're putting it out there. Oh, geez, I was just messing. You're no fun, huh? Why don't you get married? Don't think I should get married. Who would marry me? I gotta go to dinner time. So when were these messages?
I mean, you can see at some point there should be a date.
Right there, January 25th.
Oh, his kid was, oh yeah, because his kid would have been born. So yeah.
Okay.
So.
Is it okay if I look at those?
Oh yeah.
Could you stop and smoke with him, or you just asking to smoke weed with him?
Yeah. Because he works for his parents, so he doesn't have a schedule. He drives around, you know what I mean? He works right by my house.
Have you guys hooked up since he was been with this girl?
No.
If you have, that's okay.
No, but I haven't. He's not very
I'm
good.
just asking.
I never wanted to.
Is your ass lubed up?
I think he's slept over a couple times because he would be like downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would just come to my house because it's kind of close. But that was, I didn't even know he had a girlfriend until, she was like really pregnant until I found out about her, which I thought was weird. And he was still talking to me, and you know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah, because
Just
here
pregnant
says
girls.
Dylan's 4 months today. What did you get from him usually?
What do you mean?
Did you get weed from him?
Oh, no.
get ecstasy from him?
No. No, I never got anything from him.
You're asking for Molly's.
Oh, yeah. No, but he didn't have any.
Well, I mean, here's what I'm gonna tell you about me. Drugs is not my issue here.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously not what I'm concerned about. However, I did spend 5 years working plainclothes narcotics.
Yeah.
So things don't get by me when
No,
it comes to
I
that.
know.
So what did
I forgot I asked him that.
Okay. So what did you all used to get from him? You wouldn't just ask that if you've never had that kind of
I know he's,
conversation or relationship with him before.
I know he's able to get things. I know he's well connected
Okay.
with people. So I thought it would be a good, you know.
Okay. So you've asked him for weed before?
No, I don't have to ask him for weed.
Okay, she just gives you weed.
Well, I mean, when we were dating, you know,
Okay.
he would get it.
What else would he get?
I think he got mushrooms one time.
So weed, mushrooms?
Yeah. Well, he would do coke sometimes, probably more than I even knew. But I've never done coke.
Okay.
Ever.
But you've gotten weed and mushrooms from him, and you've seen him do coke?
Yeah.
What else?
I know he likes, like Adderall. I think he has a prescription. I don't know if he still does. He did. What else
You don't
does
have
he
to
like?
get it back then. Sorry.
I don't know what else does he. I can't remember. I mean, nothing too crazy.
Okay. I'm just
Pain
wondering about the ecstasy now. What?
No, yeah, I just
Did
tried
he
to.
use that?
Not that I know
Okay,
of.
so you used it, you were just trying to see if he had any?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just tried it like maybe 2 months ago for the first time. That's probably it. So that's the last time I talked to him.
March 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go right back to my training and experience with dope. You don't get sick because you don't have weed or mushrooms.
Oh, no.
So what stuff were you looking for in March from him?
Can I read it?
Yeah.
No, I was literally sick, and I wanted him to bring me to Walgreens. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
Because he drives around all day. I get weed from somebody else. I get... No, that's a real text. I'm not kidding. I legitimately wanted him to just bring me to Walgreens, or go get me some stuff from Walgreens, because I was sick, and my mom was out of town.
So is your primary contact with him via text, or do you
Yeah.
talk as well? So
No,
this
just
says
text.
March 22nd, and that's the last time
Yeah.
you had contact
Mhm.
with him. We're in May now. So you would categorize your relationship now as just friendly and off and
Mhm.
on, or
Well,
sporadic?
Yeah. And I probably text him to go get me stuff after, 20 other people. I just know he drives around, he doesn't works during the day, but not really.
Okay, thank you.
He was never my drug dealer, just my boyfriend.
Boyfriend with bad habits, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I would be interested in obtaining the medical records from your broken foot.
Okay.
Would you be able to assist me with that?
Yep.
Unfortunately, we don't know, do we know month and year?
It was,
And then you said you went...
2011, April 2011.
You said you went to that clinic. Did you end up having surgery elsewhere, or?
Yeah, through Aurora, wherever they...
It was through Aurora.
Yeah, and that was the doctor's name, Dr. Sodi. I know that.
Let's see if we can fill this out to make it correct.
Okay.
So this is a sheet allowing me access to your medical records. I don't
Okay.
want
Yeah, I
all
know.
your medical records. All I want is
I know.
information specific to the foot break.
Right.
So.
How much are you going to need me after this?
You mean today or other days?
Other days.
I suspect if we take our time and effort to get this down and have this information down, and I have your contact information, I'm hoping not to need you again. Is that fair enough? Okay.
You know, I already just did this.
With Mr. Matt Moore?
Yes.
Okay. It's kind of a interesting coincidence for you. It's a small town, you know.
I have a type, I guess, but...
Or you attract a type. It's one or the other.
Correct. I attract a type. Yeah, it's every day.
So, speaking of that, when did you start dating Matt Moore?
I was 16?
Matt, M-O-O.
R-E.
So, from the time you were 16 till when?
18.
Okay, so before Doug?
Way before Doug.
Way before Doug.
Yeah.
Okay. And that relationship was abusive?
With Matt, yeah. Very.
Was he ever arrested because of something between the two of you?
Yeah. I think that's why they involved me with that.
And were you ever arrested as a result of a fight with him?
Not with him, no.
Okay. Was there another boyfriend you were arrested with or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that between Matt and Doug?
Yeah.
Okay. And Matt was arrested by what agency?
Oh, I have no idea.
Is it around here? Where?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it would have been around here. I don't remember where we...
So once for domestic violence he was arrested, right?
Well, no, he got like battery and abuse to a child or something. Because I just turned 17, or I wasn't 17, and then he was over 18, so he got...
Gotcha. So he was arrested due to a physical incident with
Yeah.
you?
And then he broke his parole or probation, whatever he was on, and after he got out of jail, and he went to prison for like 2 years.
Okay.
And then he got out and killed people.
Okay. And this is the gentleman that just recently got sentenced for
Yep, like 2 weeks ago.
shooting a man in the village of Howard, correct?
And for a drug overdose, selling drugs to somebody who overdosed. That's correct.
Okay. So back to this medical form.
Get Wendy, at anything.
Do you have any other previous names? Names?
No, Becky Boo, Becky.
Okay. All right, let's try to think where you were. So it's Aurora. It's asking for name of healthcare provider, plan, or other. So I mean, we can do Aurora and we can do doctor, whatever. Is that?
Dr. Sodi, S-O-D-H-I,
Dr. S-O.
S-O-D-H-I, I think, is how you spell it.
And which facility is the one in De Pere or Ledgeview?
Well, we went to the urgent care over here in, what side of the street is that? Is that Ledgeview, or is that?
So on County Trunk Highway G.
Yeah.
And what else?
And then from there, they referred me to, like, the I-43 Aurora.
So the main one,
Yeah.
Aurora
Because I
Medicare.
had 2 surgeries on my ankle. And Dr. Sodi is the surgeon, he's not at this one over here, so I don't know if that matters.
Okay. Okay. And you think it was 2011?
Yeah, April 2011.
And when do you think all your treatment, your last hospital visit was? So, first one was in April, the last one was...
June. My girlfriend got married on the 11th. I was her maid of honor, and that was the first week I had my cast off. June 11, 2011. So, right before that.
So what I'll do is I'll make it for April 1st, 2011 to July 1st of 2011.
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you have any other treatment between that time frame at Aurora?
No.
Okay, so if I ask for any and all medical
That's
records,
really
then
good.
I'm just gonna only get
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, and what are we calling this, left ankle break?
What?
The condition, it's asking me to specify
Oh,
condition.
it was, like, fibula, is that right?
Okay,
It was
it's left
a
foot.
bone back here, yeah. Like the
Left
backbone,
foot.
yeah, they have a
That's
scar
it.
here and a scar here, so,
So left, I'll just do left foot break.
yeah.
And okay, this one's kind of goofy, but let's go over it. So it's Aurora Healthcare, your name, your birthday, your address, your phone number. You authorize Aurora, Dr. Sodi, and then I put in here urgent care on County Trunk Highway G and Aurora Bay Care Medical Center, Green Bay. If they don't like this form for whatever reason, I may have to stop by again and or maybe even have you meet me at the hospital, one or the other, but hopefully this is enough for them. And then it's going to be foot pickup that you authorize Sergeant Roman Ernstine. They'll check my ID, and I added here Brown County Sheriff's Office and Brown County DA's office. So then for the information I'm asking is 4/1/2011 to 7/1/2011. And I'm asking all medical related to left foot break, all billing records, left foot break, and I just basically, since you didn't have any other medical things, I just asked any and all medical records during requested time frame, 4/11 to 7/1/2011. We're not doing anything as far as none of the. Yeah, it says here left blank. This authorization will expire in 1 year, so I'm just going to leave that blank. The purpose is for legal investigation. You have your rights. Basically, you're doing so willingly and voluntarily. Feel free to read all of this over. And if that's okay with you, I just need your signature and date here. And obviously, you understand the importance of why I would want something like that?
I do.
Okay. Today's 5/23/2016. Okay. You know, you may have not been in the right place to say the right thing back in 2011, but as you get older and mature and that kind of thing, you still have an opportunity to do the right thing and tell the
And that's
truth.
really all I want to do. I don't want to be involved in this at all, but if you need me, I will be. But, you know, it's not something
I appreciate
I
it.
love, you know,
Well, I
being attached to.
It's hard for me to speculate anything when it's early on an investigation like this. I don't expect or suspect you to be any kind of a central figure of any kind, but what we do is we like to get anything and everything possible because we don't know what's going to end up being important later on, but it's harder to get things later on. It's much easier just to do it right from the beginning. So, like I said to you earlier, I have horrific handwriting, so I take notes, but then I carry this little guy with me. And if it's okay with you, I'm just going to try to go off these notes that we did.
Yeah.
And
My stepdad used to be police chief of De Pere, so, you know,
what was his name?
Dave Talk,
How long ago was that?
10 years, I think. So the map thing, I don't know why I have to do that.
Do you think Doug is capable of hurting or killing someone? Why?
Doug thinks he can get away with anything. He has. You know, he's one of those. I actually remember coming in and talking to Sergeant Drewson about Matt and thinking, and it was like at the end of me and Doug's relationship, and I was thinking, these are the same people. Because everything I was saying about Matt was true about Doug, you know? Which is weird if you think about it now.
Hurting or killing someone to include his girlfriend? Okay. And what leads you to believe that?
Because I've lived with him. I know how he gets. I don't know if anyone could make him that mad besides his girlfriend. Because I don't think he really sees, at least for me, I don't think he saw me as a girlfriend. I think he saw me as something else that he owned and he could control and he could, you know. And when he couldn't, he didn't like that. So.
Does Doug have money issues? Or did he when you were together?
I know he didn't seem to, but he works for his parents, so I feel like none of it's really his money. His parents control all of his money. So, it never seemed like we were having financial problems, so. He likes to spend money, that's for sure.
So you indicated that there was some drug use by him and both of you during your relationship. Was there any issues with mental health on either one of your parts?
I think he was very depressed. He couldn't get out of bed a lot of the time. I know he was on Wellbutrin. And I think he got Vyvanse.
Did you seek help for that?
No.
Depression?
If there was some kind of drug that, was like fun, then he probably would have for depression. But I'm glad that, something, Hold on.
Do you have an issue with alcohol?
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
Would you drink to excess?
Yeah.
Maybe a common thing?
When we started dating, I had been like a year and a half sober, or well, maybe a year sober. And I started drinking because he, we went out so much.
The pain medication that he took, was that some stuff that was prescribed to him?
No.
Some stuff that's not prescribed to him? Correct?
Both. Yeah. Even when I broke my ankle and I had my pain meds, he would not leave them by me. He had to give them to me.
With the text message and all that, I want to make sure that I explain it in an honest and truthful way, because whether they're from your phone or we get it from his phone,
Right.
it's going to be there. And I
Right.
just want to make sure that there's an explanation from your part, like,
Sure.
is he your drug dealer? Are you his drug dealer? No.
No.
The thing is that when you were in a relationship together, you did drugs together,
Right.
and that he shared with you, and then you had tried ecstasy a couple months ago, and you were just seeing if he could help you out with that, and he
Right.
just couldn't, and that was pretty much that part
Yeah.
of it. And I obviously didn't look at the rest of the text messages. Is there anything else there that somebody may raise an eyebrow with or anything like that?
Between me and him?
Right.
No.
Okay.
I think that was it. It was pack for tickets and what you saw.
Got it. We'll go over this together, make sure I have it correctly. I'll try to hurry up here, okay?
Okay. Do you mind if I'm on my phone?
I don't know.
Okay.
If it's not distracting to you, go ahead.
No,
What that letter said, why they were dropping the charges?
I don't. I know that I went and picked up the mail from his house, and he conveniently put the letter in there. I just assumed his dad knew somebody, or, I don't know. Because there's no reason those charges shouldn't be dropped.
Conversation with Sergeant Drutson.
Yes.
Did you ever give a statement? Do you remember?
About Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That was a few years ago, though.
Stuff down, why don't we go over this? And then if you think of anything else, it's right here on the computer, we can always take it away if it's not right, or we can add
Okay.
it if we need to. Or if you think of something else, we can definitely add it into here, okay?
Okay.
Let's first start looking, make sure I got your name spelled correctly, your address, your birthday, your phone number, all that kind of stuff. Good catch.
You said it in a magazine.
Good. And
Yep.
I'll just go paragraph
Okay,
by paragraph
okay.
with you. So on 5/23, I returned home from work and noticed a business card from Sergeant Yancey. That's me on my door. I called Sergeant Yancey and requested me to come to the Brown County Sheriff's Office. In order to speak with him, I agreed. I arrived at the Brown County Sheriff's Office and agreed to willingly and voluntarily speak with Sergeant Yancey. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
I just need a yes or no from you.
Okay.
I know a guy by the name of Doug Detrie. The two of us used to be in a romantic relationship with one another for a couple of years. Starting last night, I began to receive contact from people that I know, asking me if I had seen Doug. The last time I communicated with Doug was via text message, which occurred in March of this year. I have not seen Doug since before then. My friends told me that the word was that the body that was found by the Brown County Sheriff's Office was that of Doug's girlfriend. I've never met her, but knew he was dating a woman and had a child with her. I also knew that she was living with him. I also heard from others that Doug's family and friends were unable to find him as of Sunday night. I further heard a rumor that Doug was taken into custody, possibly for the homicide of his girlfriend by the police on Monday morning. I guess I just assumed it would have been for the homicide based on the information that I have been hearing about her her body being discovered. I believe that Doug is capable of hurting and or killing someone, to include his girlfriend. I had been in a relationship with him and know what type of a person he is. I guess he never really saw me as a girlfriend, but more like something that he owned and could control. When he no longer could, he became angry. I really don't think that he could get that angry, hurt, and or kill someone with someone that was not his girlfriend. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I met Doug in 2007. We were at first friends. We began to date sometime in the early part of 2010. It was a tumultuous and unhealthy relationship, which was off and on. We ultimately broke up in 2012. We have continued to communicate with one another. He has texted me asking me about who I was having sex with now. He has also made sexual comments to me, and I remind him that he was in a relationship and should not be cheating. I have texted him as well. Doug has slept over at my house, but we have not been intimate since he has been with a woman that is the mother of his child. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
In 2011, I moved in with Doug to his house located on Berkeley. Doug...
It's B-R-K-L-E-Y.
B-R...
B-E-R-K-L-E-Y.
Berkeley. Doug was working
Yeah.
for his family. He liked to spend money. It did not seem like there was money problems when we were together. There was also violence between us. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, page 1. I just need your initials right on the line there. It doesn't like your nail. It likes the padded part. I recall one specific incident when the two of us were fighting. We were in his bedroom, and I got it wrong everywhere. Berkeley, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were in his bedroom on Berkeley. He ended up tackling me and broke my left foot. We decided that I would cover up for him because I loved him and did not want him to get in trouble. I wanted everything to be fine, so I agreed to tell the authorities that I tripped over a dog.
Well, there was no authorities.
Well, authorities, the hospital.
That is authority. Okay. I thought you meant like police, and there was never...
I'll just put hospital so we know what we're talking about.
Okay.
To tell the authorities, hospital, that I tripped over a dog going down the stairs. Doug drove me to urgent care on County Trunk Highway G, Aurora. I was then referred to Dr. Asadi, Aurora Baycare Medical Center, where I received 2 surgeries for my broken left foot and was in a cast. I was in a cast for a couple of months. I agreed to allow certain emergency access to my Aurora medical records. I identified a time frame of April 1, 2011 to July 1, 2011, indicating that this was the only medical treatment that I received from at Aurora during this period of time. I signed a release of medical records form knowingly and voluntarily. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
I just need yes or no from you.
Yes.
Okay. During the time we dated, Doug was abusive and would spit in my face. When the two of us would argue, we would yell, scream, and swear at one another. We would push each other. We would both throw and break stuff during arguments. Doug was very controlling and manipulative during our relationship. I would have to call him when I left work. If I was home 5 minutes early, he would scold me for speeding. If I was 5 minutes late, he would question me where I was and who I was talking to. Doug did not like me working and would pay for my expenses such as my credit card and phone. When he became mad at me, he would cut off my phone and credit card. I think he liked paying for my phone as it allowed him the opportunity to track me. I would be with a friend at a restaurant or visiting at a house, and he would call me asking why I was at a certain location. I believe that he had my text messages linked to his email, as he would question me about specific text messages that I received and question me about communicating with certain people. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I believe that Doug suffered from depression during our relationship, as he just could not get out of bed. Doug never sought help for his depression. The two of us would use marijuana and mushrooms together. Doug would also use cocaine. Doug would also drink alcohol to excess. He would also take medication, some that was prescribed, pain medication, some that was prescribed to him, and some that were not. In the last couple of months, I have tried ecstasy. Doug was never my drug supplier, but would just share his drugs with me when we were in a relationship. Earlier this year, I asked Doug if he could get me some Molly, ecstasy, but he never did. Doug still has some of my property, like my furniture at his house. I just kind of written that property off as a loss. I guess I would identify our relationship since our breakup was friendly and sporadic, since the last time I had any contact with Doug was via text message in March of 2016. there is no question in my mind, if I consented to a sexual relationship with him, he would cheat on the mother of his child and do so, correct?
Yeah, except, like, he would drink alcohol, he would also, where's the mushroom? Oh, this part. Use marijuana. We used mushrooms like one time. It was mostly like smoking weed and drinking. And then he would do cocaine.
Okay.
We were like doing mushrooms all the time. I think I've done mushrooms like 3 times.
The two of us would use marijuana and mushrooms one time together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like
Within about a month or two of breaking my foot, Doug and I once again, within about a month or two of breaking my foot, Doug and I once again got into a fight. I recall that it was at his house when he would not allow me to leave the house and block my car with his car. I called my girlfriend to pick me up, but she was unable to since she had been drinking. She called the police and they arrived. The police instructed Doug to move his car, which he did. I was unable to leave, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The physical violence increased in severity and frequency as our relationship continued. There was a time when I left Doug and returned back to my house, which I own, 1280 Cash Street. We continued to talk with one another. I learned from my friend Wendy Knight. Her phone number is something disturbing. Wendy owned a bar at the time. She hired 2 ex-police officers for security. Their names were Rick and Scott, unknown last name. Rick and Scott must have disclosed to Wendy, who then told me that Doug had also hired them to follow me around. I believe this is true because I caught a guy following me around town once. Correct?
Yep.
2. There was another violent incident between Doug and I at my house on Cash Street. I had allowed Doug to come over. I recall that I was upset at him, and there was a time when I asked him to leave, but he refused. The 2 of us were throwing things. He was angry at me, and I was screaming for him to leave. He shoved blankets down my mouth, trying to keep me quiet, and caused injury to my mouth. Inside my mouth was bleeding, and I had a hard time breathing. He locked me in my room and would not let me out. I began to scream for help, and someone at the school across the street must have heard me and called the police. Doug was arrested that day. They received a letter from the district attorney's office indicating that they were dropping the charges against Doug.
Yeah. Can I go back up?
Yeah.
Just to this. This incident was at his house, actually. Wait. I'm getting the incidents mixed up. Oh, that's okay. Oh, yeah, okay, no, that's all right.
Okay?
Yep.
If I'm going too fast, slow me down, okay?
No, it's okay, I just, it was a couple in a row and I thought.
I recall another incident when I was visiting a friend. I was at his house and we were talking next to a window. It was winter. I recall that we were talking about taking drugs. I believe it was Ambien. Doug later called me and asked me about me taking Ambien. He knew the details of my conversation with my friend. It was only the 2 of us talking. We later discovered footprints outside in the snow by the window. I believe Doug tacked me to the house using my cell phone and then spied outside the window, listening to my conversation. I really believe that Doug is capable of great violence. I have experience in this as I have been in abusive relationships in the past. One specific relationship was with a guy by the name of Matt Moore. We dated from the time I was 16 until I was 18. He physically assaulted me when I was a juvenile and was arrested as a result of this incident. I was questioned by Sergeant Drutson about my relationship with Matt. I recall telling Sergeant Drutson about Matt's characteristics and what I thought made him dangerous to others. I also recall thinking that Matt and Doug have very similar characteristics to one another. I guess either I'm attracted to these type of men or these type of men are attracted to me. Matt was recently convicted of shooting and killing a man in the village of Howard and providing drugs to another man that died due to an overdose.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just need your initials right on that line if that's true and accurate. Have given the statement of my own free will, no force, threats, or promises were made to obtain the statement of 3 pages. It is true and correct to the best of my knowledge. The statement has been read to me by Sergeant Aaronstein, and I have read it. So if that's true and correct, I'll just sign here. Just need your signature there. And then if you can put a date below that anywhere in the white, it's 5/23/2016. And below that, if you could put a time of 8 p.m. I appreciate you spending so much time with me today. What I do then is I create a PDF file, so nothing can be changed, and then it gets emailed to me, and then that basically becomes your statement.
Okay.
So my intentions at this point is to contact the hospital, see if I can get those medical records, just so I can see, you know, you're telling me you said you tripped over a dog. I want to see that on paper, because they write that stuff down. Yep. And then, so I want to get that. If I have some issues, I'll give you a call. If I have so many questions or anything like that, I can give you a call.
Yep.
Usually work bankers hours Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. So what is the best door? There's a side door at your house. Is that the best one to knock on?
The one that's right next to the driveway, so if you're in the driveway, there's a little, like a stair. And
Gotcha.
That's the one
Well, now that I have your number, I probably wouldn't even stop by. I'll
Okay.
just give you a call. So, okay. Thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it.
You show me how to get out of here.
I sure will. You know what, it took me a little while as well.
I bet.